since I think my sophomore year of high school, really when we started to go to like kind of those national camps. And obviously we got recruited by a lot of the same schools, and so just getting to know him, that was one of the kids in my class who I got pretty close with. Every now and then. I mean, obviously we're both, busy within the season, but I think once we committed to our schools, we knew what it was going to be. We knew, the rivalry that, both those schools had. So, I try to speak to them as much as I can.
Did you guys approach it that way? And you guys were still in high school, even though?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know. I think obviously we knew how much the rivalry meant in high school, but then I think once you get to college, I think that's when you really realize, how important it is. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, on Saturday at noon, we're going to put the ball down. It's going to be football, and obviously there's a lot of attention around the game, and rightfully so. But I think you just have to realize it's just football, and I think we've done a great job getting to this point, being 11-0. So I think just continuing to prepare the way we have, continuing to practice the way we have, and treating it as a football game.
The way you felt the week going into the Notre Dame game, and the way you feel this week, can you feel a difference? I mean, the Notre Dame game was that first one where really everybody was watching you. How's Kyle McCord going to function in a game like this? You understand what I'm saying? How much has it helped you for this one?
Yeah, no, I think that was a great test for us early on, going into a hostile environment, playing a really good team, really good defense, like on the road, like I said. So I think that's definitely helped us. I think we know that we've been through, a tough environment, and, we won that game. I think guys stepped up, made some big-time plays, and I think that was kind of a turning point early on in the year where we realized, okay, we're a legit team. We're exactly who we thought we were going to be. So I think the biggest thing now is using that experience to help us get ready for Saturday, because obviously it's going to be a similar type of environment, big game. But I think early on we did a good job, blocking out the noise, so just continuing to do that this week.
People have said, close to you have said, and you've said, you don't get nervous before games. Do you think that'll be the case on Saturday? And if so, how much of an advantage will it be for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think the only time, you're nervous is when you're not sure if you put the preparation in or not. And so during the week, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I think that's when you really win the game during the week. I think watching film, getting your body right, getting your mind right, going out and having good practices, I think that's where you gain confidence. And so when you step out there on Saturday, it's not anything that you haven't done yet. And I think that's really where I draw it from.
Did you know that reputations are made in this game? This is where Dwayne Haskins made his first statement. This is where Troy Smith, go down the list. How excited are you to have a chance to put your stance on this rivalry?
Yeah, like you said, obviously the implications on this game are huge. But like I said earlier, at the end of the day, it's just a football game. And so just doing everything I can to help my team win. And, like I said, I think there's a lot of noise around it. There's a lot of hype around it, and rightfully so. But I think the biggest thing is just focusing in on what's important, and that's, watching the film, doing the small things during the week, focusing on the details to give yourself the best chance to go out there and succeed.
What's your first memory? What's your first memory of this rivalry game watching as a kid?
Probably the double overtime game when Curtis Samuel scored. I think that was double overtime, maybe or triple. I'm not sure. But I remember watching that. I think I was in 7th or 8th grade at the time, and just the magnitude around that game was huge. And I remember just the back and forth game, and then to kind of have it end the way it did with Curtis Samuel scoring like that, I was like, wow, that's a crazy rivalry. So that was kind of my first impression on the game.
From your perspective, what's been the most important development for the offensive line over the course of this season?
Yeah, I mean, I think offensive line is one of the few positions in football where it takes all 5 guys to be on the same page. And I think they've done a good job. I think early on, especially in fall camp, we're switching guys in and out. Guys were competing for jobs. And then once everything kind of settled into place, I think they did a good job of kind of meshing together. And I think early on, especially early on the season, I don't think everybody was always on the same page, and I think that's to be expected. But especially kind of this last stretch, I think they've done a good job of communicating well, playing together, preparing during the week, and I think as a result, their play has risen.
We were talking after the game on Saturday. One of the ways you've improved, or one of the parts of your development, is trusting people around you as much as trusting yourself. I assume that applies to the offensive line a little bit. What's your level of confidence now? How does it feel different on the field now than maybe did in the first 3 weeks of the season?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just the more reps you can get with the guys, and you kind of know what to expect, and whether that's making identification calls or making protection calls, whatever it is, just all being on the same page and having trust in them. And I think they've done a great job. I think especially I think Carson's done a great job with it, being one of the younger guys, and the center doing a really good job with that. And I think the guys around him who have more experience, like Donnie and Matt, kind of lifting him up, and I wouldn't say being like a bigger brother to him, but I think in some ways, Matt Jones especially has done that. And when a guy has that much experience, has been playing for that long, to have a guy like that play next to you, I think has helped Carson a lot.
Our defense is obviously really good. What are maybe one or two things that are most impressive about the defense and the challenge that you're going to have?
Yeah, I mean, obviously super talented across the board. Obviously coached really well, and I think they play really hard too. I think that when you turn the film, I think that jumps off. How hard they play, the effort, and there's a reason why they're playing the way they are right now. And I think that starts a lot just with their effort. And so we know it's going to be a fist fight on Saturday, but I think we'll be ready for it.
Where does it help your confidence going into a game like this, knowing your primary weapons? We talked about this a couple of weeks ago, but like you said, you saw that burst from Emeka on Saturday. But knowing all of your weapons that y'all had going into the year are going to be available to you, what does this just do from an offensive confidence standpoint?
Yeah, like you said, I think that's a huge boost of confidence. You put all those reps in the off season, in the summer and fall camp, and when you lose a few of those pieces, you can kind of tell a little bit. And I think the guys have stepped up and done a great job. But to have all those guys back healthy and ready to go, and I think I said this on Saturday, that was the best I think Emeka's looked since he's been back. You can just tell he has a different kind of swagger to him now, just the way he's playing. He looks fast, he looks explosive, and obviously Trey, who missed some time during the season, with him being back and looking the way he does. I mean, it's just, like you said, it's a huge boost of confidence.
How long have you dreamed of this moment of playing in this game as you start quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's, when you're a little kid, you dream of moments like this. And, 2 undefeated teams and the biggest rivalry in sports, you can't draw it up any better than that. But I think at the same time, like I said earlier, it's all about the preparation during the week. It's all about putting the work in and giving yourself an opportunity to go out and succeed.
Kyle, when you go back and through the course of the season watch film of yourself, how have you felt about your decision making, the things that, the reads you make, that kind of thing? How often are you saying, like, yeah, man, I'm reading it right, and how often you say, maybe I wish I had that one back?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely, a few plays here and there where, I would have liked to have back. And I think I've done a good job of seeing the field. I think I credit a lot of that to the coaching and to my preparation during the week. But I feel like now, there are plays where I'm getting to, my 3rd, 4th, 5th read, and I feel like I'm being smart with the ball. That's the biggest thing, I think, especially here. If you can just get the ball in the playmaker's hands, it doesn't always have to be perfect, and you just get them in open space, good things are going to happen. So I think early on, I didn't exactly, I knew it, but, I think once you see it succeed and you see it, happen in the game and you see it work, I think that's really when you understand, okay, what's my role in this offense.
What did you learn from going up there in 2021 and playing in that game? I mean, you didn't play, but taking part in the game.
Yeah, I mean, that was a crazy environment. Obviously, that was one of the first times they beat us in a long time, but, it was electric. And obviously, Big Ten football, at this point in the year, you never know what the weather's going to be like. It was snowing sideways that day. So it's going to be a challenge for sure.
How do you rate your running ability? CJ used to always say you wouldn't go out here with a runner, but he could do it.
Mm-hmm.
In the Georgia game, where do you stand on that? If you have to do it, or is there a confidence that
Yeah, I mean, I think similar to CJ, it's just whatever the game presents. And sometimes, there aren't times to run, and I think, you just need to do your job and distribute the ball. And then I think there are other times, and I think there's been points in the year, like the Wisconsin game, there was a third down where they kind of dropped down, played coverage, and, they gave me an opportunity to scramble for a first down. So I think it's just what the game presents, kind of the flow of the game, what they're trying to do, what we have called, and I think kind of similar to CJ. If if the opportunity presents itself, I'll be ready.
This rivalry has been heated for a long time. Players have always respected each other. Is that hard to say that you respect Michigan guys, or does it come naturally, or do you?
No, yeah, I respect them. I mean, it's hard to stand up here and say I don't respect a team who's 11-0, who's done some really good things in the past few years, and they're a really good team. So I think there's definitely a respect level there. I think we know that they're a good team, and I would say vice versa. So I think there's definitely a respect level there.
Kyle, regarding the recruitment, you and JJ, how do you keep from trying to prove your head coach right in this game? Or are you trying to prove him right?
I mean, I think every day you have an opportunity to prove people right and prove people wrong. And, I think, that's not in the front of my mind. The biggest thing for me is just winning this game by any means necessary.
Do you ever think about the fact that Ohio State recruited both you and JJ, and Ohio State chose you?
Yeah, I mean, not anymore, to be honest. Obviously that was a little bit of a story when we were both getting recruited. But, I think once we both stepped on campus, I think those recruiting stories kind of fade out, and I think the product you put in the field matters most.
Ryan talked about keeping promotions in check, and I feel like you're very good at this. But you think it would even be a challenge for you as you guys play this game?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously a big game, a big moment for all of us. But like I said earlier, at the end of the day, it's just football. And, there's a lot of attention, a lot of outside noise on this game. But at the end of the day, it's going to be 11-on-11. And I think the guys have done a good job understanding that and preparing as such.
This game is always huge. It'll always be huge. But this is the last for everything. I mean, next year you got a playoff. You're not going to have divisions. If it were next year, this year, you'd be playing the next week too.
Yeah.
Does that add to the excitement of this game, knowing that this is the last that's coming?
Yeah. I don't even know if I've thought of it like that. But, that is kind of crazy you say that. I think just the tradition that this game has had throughout the years, the amount of great players that have played in this game throughout the years, the back and forth games throughout the years. I think there's a reason why this is the best rivalry in sports, and just to be able to play in it, and it's special. It's an honor, and so obviously with everything on the line, there's a lot riding on it. But like I said, just every day preparing your mind, your body, and your soul to go out there on Saturday. Yeah, no, I mean that's crazy. I think that's just kind of the world of college football now. With everything going on, it's twists and turns, but that would be wild.
Kyle, last year you were always one snap away, so you got to be ready. But this year you go into the game knowing that your role is a focal point. How do you prepare differently, if at all, to make sure that you're mentally in the right frame when you get out there for the first snap?
Yeah, I think last year. Obviously, you prepare like the starter. You prepare like you're going to play when in the back of your mind, you're probably not. But I think this year, knowing that you'll be out there, knowing that you'll have an opportunity to make some plays, I think it's exciting. And I don't know if it's extra motivation, but that's kind of been the way I've been preparing all year, is knowing that I'm going to have an opportunity to play. And I think especially with this game, I think that's the case as well, and so it's exciting. It's an honor. So, like you said, I think the preparation during the week is going to be key.
Kyle, thank you very much.
Appreciate it.